did that. Well, let's get into something that's really important to both of us, close to my heart, and that's pedophilia. And you are involved in an international commission on pedophilia. Can you explain that?
Well, let me take that in three parts. Number one, I'm not sure how I really got enthused about the importance of pedophilia, except that I vaguely connected it to a very important way of taking down the deep state. And I've been working pedophilia for several years now. And I remember distinctly, I was in the JFK Art Center, whatever you call it, here in Washington, talking to some people as I was delivering something to the president. And I brought up pedophilia, and they looked at me like I was an insane person. This was back in the days of Denny Hassert and the kids being given VIP tours in the White House where they get to take off all their clothes and be molested by people in the White House. They just couldn't believe it. Well, Pizzagate changed all of that. Because of Pizzagate, I started nurturing a book by West Point graduate Joaquim Hagopian called Pedophilia and Empire, Satan, Sodomy, and the Deep State. And that's free online, and it's being read all over the world. And now it's starting to be translated. He just released chapter 15 on Hollywood. Every chapter is free online and also on Amazon Kindle. The tiny URL is Pedo Empire. That brought me to the attention of some people that were creating a judicial commission of inquiry, which is not a law enforcement body, and it is not it doesn't have legal standing inside of existing jurisdictions, but it has its own international natural law legal standing. And it is a commission of inquiry. It is led by Sir John Walsh of Brana, a duke in the Australian Who's Who. And I have been asked to be the chief counsel, and I have accepted. William Binney and Steve Arnold and Arno Reuser are three of our technical directors, and this should be a wake-up call for the elite, because that means that I have at my disposal capabilities superior to what NSA and CIA have. I can get into all of these internet circuits and all of these telephone circuits and so forth within the law. That's the distinction between Thin Thread by Bill Binney and NSA. Bill Binney and Thin Thread are within the rule of law. NSA is way outside the rule of law. So long and the short of it is, we have set upon ourselves a task to do in 1 year what no government anywhere has done. Our starting number is 8 million children per year disappearing. That's 22,000 a day. 8 million children a year. We want to document as close as we can toward 8 million a year. Are these, in fact, the missing numbers? Then we want to document what happens to them. Pedophilia is not just about child kidnapping or even child breeding. There are lowlifes in America that are breeding children as a cash crop. They're literally getting pregnant and selling the baby, and there's a very high demand now for fetuses. People in the satanic circles like to eat fetuses. This is just beyond belief, but it's there. So child kidnapping, child cash crop, child slavery, child sex abuse, and now you get into the really dark side of it. Beyond child sex abuse is child murder. Their average life expectancy, we believe, is 2 years, except for the ones that are being groomed to take over the higher networks. 2 years. So child murder, put them in an incinerator in New Jersey so the New York people don't have to get their hands dirty. Or child ritual murder. Kathy O'Brien's got a great book out, Transformation of America. She might be one of our witnesses in London. And child, this is even, I've even read about where they have a child get pregnant and they deliver the fetus fresh on the floor of the ritual environment to eat the fetus within minutes of its coming out of the womb. I mean, This is how sick these people.
Why?
This because they can. It's impunity, it's arrogance, it's satanic evil at its very best. And then the last third of child abuse is body harvesting. Drinking adrenalized blood because they've been terrorized before they've been killed, harvesting their bone marrow, which is an anti-aging device, and harvesting their body organs, which is another anti-aging device. This is probably the darkest thing I am ever going to touch in my lifetime. It far exceeds anything I ever saw at CIA. This is the ultimate evil, and it's particularly evil because Scotland Yard and Interpol and the FBI and the 18,000 police jurisdictions across America are turning a blind eye to this.
Is it because people just can't fathom that this is what's going on? Because that's hard.
I think that's 1/3 of the reason. 1/3 of the reason is because they're actively complicit. One of the neat things, one of the upsides of having all of the emails and phone calls across America for the last 10 years is we have every dirty cop, every dirty prosecutor, and every dirty judge online. We've got it all.
And so if we're serious, we can do it.
If we're serious, we can do it. I think it would take 5 years. This is a long-term harvesting project. I mean, right now, NSA can be harvested, at the 100 to 1,000 level. If you really want to get 10,000 dirty cops, 10,000 dirty prosecutors, and 10,000 dirty judges, that's a 3 to 5 year project.
Do you think Trump really wants to do that? Because he can.
I don't know. I really pray that Donald Trump wants to clean up America and make America great again. But if he doesn't pivot from the 1% to the 99%, he will be lucky to finish out his term.